Hey there, my little mermaids. How are you? Nice to see you. You look really good today. Like, smoking hot. Like, woo. Today is going to be a video all about my tongue. Well, not my tongue. The piece of metal that's shoved in my tongue. This video will help a lot of people if they have just had their tongue pierced or if they want to or whatever, because my experience was kind of weird, a little bit abnormal, which was great. It's all fine now, but it was gross. From what happened the second I walked into the piercing shop to today, right now, the present. I have always wanted a tongue piercing since I was about 14. I don't know why, I just thought they looked really cool. Just a little piece of metal in your mouth. Why wouldn't you want that? Why? I always wanted it because I've wanted like a heart on my tongue, so I just think it's really cute because, you know, that's just me. So my parents said they would kick me out if I did, so now I've moved out here, university, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. So if you're anything like me, you'll be too terrified to go into the shop and your friend will have to basically force you to go in because you're just really scared and needles are not fun, and yeah. So I went into the shop and I had to fill out a form, and on the form I had to say whether I had any heart conditions, whether I had eaten that day, and my age and things like that. I live in the UK. I'm not entirely sure about the age limit for tongue piercings because on the internet, good old little Google, it says you can be 16 and get your tongue pierced, but the place I went to, they asked for ID and I had to be 18, so they didn't really make me do anything. They just sat me down. I had to keep my tongue sticking out for at least 10 seconds. So I stuck my tongue out like this. I would have filmed it, but they said I wasn't allowed, so yeah, I did this. And then they got the clamp and they obviously squeezed my tongue with it. At this point I was terrified, but the clamp actually kind of hurt on its own, which I thought was weird. Felt a slight pinch, and that was it. That was it. Screwed the little balls on and voila, it was done. Felt a lot of pressure on my tongue and like I couldn't speak. And my mouth just felt like it was just filled with metal. Like I was talking like this because there was this weird thing in my mouth and I didn't know what to do with it. Told me to use mouthwash with no alcohol in, so that's what I did. He told me not to wash it with salt water, so I didn't do that. And he told me to do my best to try and like brush my tongue with my toothbrush. The piercer gave me a long bar, so a lot longer than this one, and then he said to come back in about 2 weeks and I can get the shorter one. About 25 minutes after, my tongue did start to kind of ache. I can't really describe the pain. It wasn't like really bad, like I could cope with it, but my tongue just felt a bit like bleh. So I went and got a ice smoothie and I just put all the ice on my tongue, which didn't actually help. It just pissed me off because it was just like numbing my tongue, but my tongue still hurt. I can't explain. Then I went home and I was like, you know what, I'm starving. My tongue does not hurt that bad, so I'm sure I'm gonna be able to eat something. Yeah, I was very, very wrong. I went to the supermarket and I bought like a little pot and it was like dumplings and beef stew kind of thing, and I was really excited to eat it, and then I just couldn't. I just could not eat it. I've never appreciated my tongue more in my life or understood the mechanisms of eating until I got my tongue pierced and tried to eat those bloody dumplings. Like, you don't realise how much you move your tongue when you eat. You move it all the time. Like, you can feel, like, all the time. So from the night I got it pierced onwards, that's when the trouble began. All the trouble. The piercer did tell me that my tongue was going to swell, and with the larger bar before getting it changed, it was going to be difficult to eat. But oh my god, it got to the point where I couldn't even eat ice cream or soup or drink water or anything. And this lasted for about 3 or 4 days. I also couldn't speak. My flatmates thought it was really fun because I'd come into the kitchen, and obviously usually I'm very chatty, and I just couldn't say anything. I just kind of talked like this. And then I said to them, I'm gonna have to stop talking because it's starting to really hurt. And they were like, okay. Me saying sizzling sausages was great amusement to everyone. I'm making it sound really bad. It was honestly easy to cope with. It's just the fact that I couldn't eat and I was really busy at uni and I just really wanted some food, and it just made me feel faint because I couldn't eat, so I was just grumpy. But that was fine. But then on about, I think it was the 5th day, I woke up. I looked at my pillow, as you do, and there was blood on my pillow, and I was like, huh? I saw red, as you will, and obviously I was concerned as to why there was blood on my pillow. I went to the mirror and obviously looked at my tongue, and there was a big purple lump on my tongue, and it was just bleeding quite a lot, and it horrified me. I rang the piercing place and they told me to just come in. if I felt like I needed to, and I did. So I went to the shop and the piercer looked at it and he was like, "Oh darling, bless you." His exact words. He told me I'd had like a rare reaction to it, which not many people have. It's basically just when there's nothing wrong with the piercing, it's not infected, nothing. Your tongue just doesn't really like it right now, and it will get used to it, but for the moment your tongue's going to be yellow and fat and swollen and bleeding and gross. Like, it was gross. That was when my healing was a bit abnormal when that happened. I think I have a picture actually. Now remember, this is not for the faint-hearted. Like, my tongue is disgusting. There's also like yellow kind of pus coming out of it. Can you see that? Like, it was honestly the most disgusting thing. I was recommended to buy some ibuprofen meltlets, which is basically ibuprofen, but instead of taking it with like water or whatever, you put it on your tongue and it kind of dissolves on your tongue. So I did that for 2 days, and after that my tongue was really happy. I think it loved the ibuprofen. It loved the ibuprofen as much as I love unicorns, which is a lot. I didn't have any pain. I didn't have a swollen tongue anymore. I was able to eat, kind of, just not things like spaghetti because they get wrapped round, just like basic things. I could have like bread and soup and pasta and stuff like that. And yeah, everything was so much better. The lump was still on my tongue, but it was now the colour of my tongue and a lot smaller, and it stopped bleeding, and there was no like pus or white stuff coming out of it, which was good. It was about a week after where I had my first hot drink, which was really scary to me because, like, I don't know, I didn't want anything boiling hot on my tongue that was already hurting. And one thing I didn't realise is, you know when you kind of take a sip of a hot drink and it's slightly too hot but you quickly swallow it so it's okay? Yeah, you can't do that when you have a tongue piercing, because the tongue piercing is made of metal and the metal conducts heat. So when you sip a hot drink and swallow the drink, the bar heats up, and oh my god, if your drink's too hot, that's it. That's it. That's it. Your tongue feels like the sun. I do not want this video to put you off because I'm a very dramatic person, and although nothing's exaggerated, it really wasn't that bad. Like, I couldn't eat, but that's to be expected, you know. I wasn't in like excruciating pain. It was more of a nuisance than pain, I'd say. It was just more annoying. So yeah, my tongue piercing now, I completely love it. I've got it changed to the smaller bar now, if you can see. I can eat anything I want. It's easy peasy. I can even eat spaghetti. I can do whatever. Like, I can talk normally. My lisp is gone. My mum didn't even notice that I had it because she would have gone crazy. I told her in the end because I just felt guilty from hiding it from her. But yeah, it's the best thing. Just really fun to kind of like play with. And a lot of people say they ruin your teeth. And the only thing I can say is it's only going to ruin your teeth if you are purposely hitting your teeth with it all the time, or you've got like the piercings that it always hits your teeth when you talk, because some people said theirs is so far forward it hits their teeth when they talk, which is weird. But yeah, mine's quite far back, so it doesn't touch my teeth unless I make it touch my teeth, so no damage to my teeth. I think if you're watching this video and thinking about getting your tongue pierced, you should totally just go for it. I was so freaked out with the thought of having just a needle go through my tongue, but you honestly can like barely feel it. There's no qualms here, darling, no qualms. It's been a month since I've had it now, and I haven't changed the jewellery yet. I'm going to do that at some point. I'm just kind of letting it settle a bit because I don't want to end up hurting my tongue or something. But yeah, if you have any more questions, leave them in the comment box, and me and my tongue will get back to you. I hope you found this video helpful. If you didn't, then what can I say? Don't really like you really, do I? Nope. Remember to subscribe to become a member of the Mirror family, because when you click subscribe you magically turn into a mermaid or a merman, whichever you prefer. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in my next one.